Hello and welcome to Caribbean Content Creators. Today we're talking to Reaping What You Sow. Reaping What You Sow is a YouTuber from Trinidad and Tobago. One of his goals is to build a community that has a passion for agriculture and a love for sharing knowledge and resources that will encourage food stability for all. It's January 2022 and at the time of this recording he has 639 subscribers. Today we're talking to him about his YouTube journey, his goals, and the strategies that will take him there. Thank you very much for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir.
What inspired you to start a YouTube channel and share your farming experiences with the world?
I have a good friend, Jason Joseph. We know him as Junks. He always tell me, he say, boy, you could be on radio because you could talk and just make people laugh. I would be dead serious and have people laughing. So he's like, hey, you should do it. And well, I'll sell rough skin lemons and so on. So he's like, use the channel to market the lemons and market yourself now, and just showcase your journey. And he said that to me, and by the next day I uploaded a video. Create the name, get the name, and just upload it. It's the first time I use the camera that I do it with. It's the first video I ever edit, so it's like but it's one of the best stupid decisions I've ever made in my life.
So you were into farming for a good while before you did that first video?
Yeah. But saying into farming, well, yeah, let me say I was into farming, but I wouldn't by no means say that I'm a farmer because there are plenty that I don't know, plenty I don't understand. I plant stuff and it's growing. And, I reap the benefits of it. But, to say I understand the whole science behind it, because now I realizing that farming is more of a science than you actually think.
To put things into perspective a little bit for me here, this is what year you uploaded your first video?
December, go on there, make it 2 years. So it's 2 years and a month or something like that.
You could help me put it into perspective. I mentioned that we have 639 subscribers around there. How much watch hours you're at right now? Whether you want to say you're halfway there or 3/4 way there.
I have about 1,100 watch hours. Yeah. So I have about 3/4 the way to go. But I don't post. I no posting schedule, and for the past few months now is like, and again, the time to do anything at all with the channel is concerned. Even community posts and all, yeah, falling behind on that because life happening. So
And is that consistency affecting the growth of your channel compared to maybe when you were posting a bit?
Possibly, yes, possibly. Yeah. But I've been able to reap a lot of benefits from the channel besides subscribers or so, because I know monetization for us in Trinidad, especially me and my niche, however you want to call it, will be kind of hard because views in Trinidad and Tobago not really monetize, So I can't see somebody in Canada watching my videos to learn how to plant barbadine and then clicking on an ad. Might be possibly Chinese or people in similar climates in the Caribbean that might do that. So, but the benefits I've gotten a MacBook Pro from Science. Big up Miss Donna. I've gotten the phone that I used to record, the iPhone 11 Pro. I've gotten that from a subscriber as well. I started with a Sony Cybershot, I think. No, a Nikon Coolpix. Yeah. And from that I moved to that. And I had a fan pod, as you could recall. I made my own tripod out of an old fan. And now I have a little tripod that I bought. Can't remember the name of the store, but one of them Chinese stores, so Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things that really stood out in your videos when you had this fan that the head had fallen off and you're using this as a tripod. And
I cut it off. Anyway, every corner you go on, well, not again, because scrap iron man dealing with everything. But anyway, you could find a fan. I like to reuse, and it's not that I started off liking it, but when you do have, you understand, you gotta make things work.
How is the farming community responding to the work that you're doing?
I don't think the farming community know.
But do you try to, apart from the work that you're doing, do you focus your efforts elsewhere to say work with farmers? Because I'm thinking about this. What stands out in your video description? Sorry, your bio. Is this idea of building food stability. So I'm wondering what type of work you're doing along the lines of getting the community involved, and what is your, even if you haven't accomplished it as yet, what is your long-term vision in terms of building food stability and awareness in Trinidad and Tobago?
Okay, well, all right. You see how let's say you want to change a tire. I think in something that the average person will look for, but I'm trying to make it general. So you want to search out, you want to know how to change a tire. So you go on YouTube, how to change a tire, you'll see a video. I want my channel to be like a go-to channel. So I want to know how to plant tomatoes. I Google how to plant tomatoes or YouTube, or, so I'd like to visit men with pig farms, even though I do eat pork, to see how people inseminate cows and that kind of thing. Anything to do with agriculture, I wouldn't mind being a part of it, to record it and show it. Some people are afraid to share knowledge, and they concern in security and so on. So when I go on certain farms, you would notice I would say in an undisclosed location, because pre-deer larceny is a serious thing. I like to just highlight and just show people what it takes to do it, because you're quarreling, why is scythe so expensive? Scythe planting up on the hills in Pyramid, and but at the same, everybody can't be a farmer, but at least know what it takes, at least know why it at the cost. You want honey, you ever get 40 bee stings in a day? I've gotten 40 bee stings in one day, and it wasn't from harvesting honey or anything. I was cutting a place, and it had 2 beehives in a old breadfruit tree, I believe. Yeah.
So farming could be dangerous work.
Yes, dangerous. The chemicals, insects, animals, it could be dangerous.
I think going back to this idea of, working with people, you wanting to bring this social aspect of this is how we go about, artificial insemination, rabbit rearing or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have so much concern about security. And I have shared that experience as well, where you reach out to someone to work with them, but their immediate concerns about the security.
Yeah,
so that is real. And the more work we do, and the more trust that you build up in that community, because I could think about one of your most recent videos where you were clearing a land with I don't remember the name of the guy, the second to last video.
Just Natural Farms.
Just Natural Farms. Yeah. And work like that, you're establishing yourself in a way that, this is somebody we could work with, somebody we could trust and will respect the undisclosed location aspect of it, right? What equipment are you using to record your videos? Where did you start and where you at today?
I started with the Nikon Coolpix, and right now I have an iPhone 11 Pro, and I was editing on MacBook Pro. Before I was editing on my daughter's would be a laptop. I can't remember the brand. The journey has been interesting. I was able to meet a few people that I consider good friends.
That's the second time that you worked in that idea of the community aspect with people.
Yeah.
And it stands out as one of the things that you have going for you in terms of you've suggested a couple of people for this podcast as well. And making connections. And I think that's something that would definitely help you. Before you even got into YouTube, maybe in your youthful years, your teenage years, were there any different ways that you were expressing yourself creatively?
When I was younger, real young, I can't really give an age state, but I like designing things. I'd say, Mommy, why do you put this color curtains at the other? And at the time when I grew up, that was considered to be woman thing. Very, very fast, my creative side was killed. I did that I would just take a camera and take shots, and somebody would be watching me doing it. And you look like a madman when you're doing certain things. And when they watch the video, it's like, you get that from doing what you was doing in the back there? People who know where my garden is. And they would watch the video and be like, that could never be in the back there. So it's like the creativity, now we are weakening with it, So it's like, again, to express that, and I enjoy it. And I hope one day to even make a movie, but right now I don't have the skill, neither the budget, but
And who you look into on YouTube or creatively wise that you're learning from? What is YouTube channels that you could recommend to folks?
Well, I was learning from you. I was learning from Shines, Yayon, and there's a guy from England, Learn Video Online. He teaches how to make videos with your smartphone. So he would show how to get fake drone shots and that kind of stuff, So the person that actually taught me how to edit was a guy called Geek Outdoors. And I used to use Shortcut first. And all that I learned in Shortcut was from him. So I record the first video. And he said, do this. All right, I'll do that. It worked. Continue. And so it was. So I pieced together everything and put it out. But now I'm using DaVinci Resolve, which is 1,000 times harder than Shortcut. It's more powerful, and I shouldn't really be getting into it so early in the game, but I'm just fascinated with it. It's more advanced.
And what some of the features that it brings to the table that you enjoy as a video editor?
Well, the color grading in it, and you could once the camera stable, you could move sun rays. So you could change the rays of light, the amount of things I could do, remove stuff from in the background. I haven't done any of that yet, but just seeing, because like everybody will say, well, try the best, but that being the best is very hard. It's very difficult for me. It's not just chop. Sometimes like I could relate to when I was using Microsoft Word in school, and I press something I don't know what I press, and everything gone by. You understand? Everything move, and like, how I getting it back? Why I green? Why I'm,
When you focus on all these features, how does it affect your production time, your consistency, and availability to put out videos?
Yeah, it's affecting it because, well, not as much as before, but you see, I would work on something for like an hour and something, and my wife wouldn't notice it, my daughter wouldn't notice it. Most of the viewers wouldn't notice it. Most of the viewers don't care if you shoot it in 4K or 8K or whatever, because you want a little phone watching, But I just liked, like the idea behind it. I like how it looked, and I pleased with it. So sometimes we editing for ourselves, and because if I do a video about how to hold your waka, why I fussing to add all that sort of special effects and whatever. Although I ain't good there yet, but so we editing for editors or we editing for the people. So it's a struggle. It can get carried away.
Yeah, particularly YouTubers, I think, have that issue where you're focused so much on the edit that of course, I love quality products, but the desire to edit so much affects your ability to produce, and it's things that the viewers not really taken up with. So in terms of building your channel and the videos that do well, what are the things that stand out to you as being important to viewers?
Two of in my opinion, my worst videos in terms of, three I should say, in terms of the shakiness of the camera. The story was kind of all over the place, but the information was there. That would be a video I have on using how to use the still FS280. That is my biggest video. That video have more than 10,000 views. I have one service in a spray can. That video doing good as well. And our next one with the still, and the review of the Caribbean Chemicals Almanac or calendar. That was real shaky. I think Parkinson's or something like that. That was real shaky, and that doing good. I realized that people searching for information. However, I know I should be remaking these videos or updating them, but time, because most of the things that I do is just random, like that, just natural. I was home, and my boy called me, "Where is home?" I come in for you, and it happened. So,
Yeah, it's kind of weird creatively and expressing yourself and these random videos, because even in the context of your channel and what you want to accomplish, the life that you're doing right now might be considered very random. Somebody who
it is,
they have to be interested in you as the creator and say, hey, yeah, boy, I like to see, and you're doing something that strategically that I guess could help your channel grow in different ways. But I realize more and more that it is really when you focus on a particular niche or topic area that you attract the people that you're looking for. So what are because you got into it from a business point of view when your friend recommended it. What are the goals, the long-term goals that you have for your YouTube channel, whether it's along the lines of business or personal? Like, what would you like to say, hey, I have accomplished this by 2025?
I wish the channel could sustain itself. Everything that I buy for the channel will take away from my daughter my wife, me, the car. So sometimes it's a choice between changing oil and doing this. So I wish the channel could sustain itself. That will die in a really long term, but I'd like to get sponsored, and I hope that through the channel I'll be able to actually say that I am a farmer. Because I've met people, and recently I started working with a guy named Kerwin Huggins. He started his own channel, and I'm not sure if he posts anything yet, and he's come up and give me a help, and he teaches me stuff. So in the right direction, but sometimes you find things staying too long and you wonder what you're doing wrong, and that kind of way.
And tell me what you're doing to find sponsors.
Come in here. Bro, I'll be real with you. I don't see people give me credit for videos that I make, and I don't see it isn't bad, but I know I'm nothing special, and I don't know if to say I'm humble or I lacking confidence or what, but I can't see myself going my FT5 and saying sorry, AgriWorld. Hello, Mr. AgriWorld. Can I be sponsored, please? Sponsored for what? And I think that was some of the farmers telling themselves, well, what's this fat man doing here with this camera to do what?
People have to know you're open for business. You have to approach people for business. You know what? People who have called me and asked me and say, hey, you just do sponsored videos. I think maybe 2 of them have gone through with sponsorship. Everyone else is people who I have approached. Yes, it has things to do with editing talent and whatever the case might be. You make a product look good, they feel happy to be represented by you. But it's what you bring into the table in terms of who your viewers are. So if you really stick to the aspect of farming, I'm making farming videos, I'm going and seeing people clearing down our land, this is the product that this person used. So from whenever you go and you work with Just Natural or whatever, for example, you should be looking at maybe or asking what chemicals you're using, bro. And then you in turn have to call those people and just hope you get onto the right person. And sometimes there's a level of persistence that go with it. You could edit the best 1,000 videos. And if people don't know Jason and open for business or doing this, they're not going that. Why do you go buy a clothes store in the mall and buy a suit from them? Because they open from business to this time and they have a reputation for selling these suits. There's a business aspect that we don't necessarily like, but we have a responsibility to say, hey, I am open for business and I want to encourage you. I mean, we're here to talk about your work, but I want to encourage you to just pick up a phone. You never know who might be interested.
Okay.
So I hope I inspire you to make a phone call, because at times I have been pleasantly surprised to just make a phone call and see it pan out into something, right?
Okay.
Can you walk us through your video creation process from the time when you go to film a video, maybe your later videos here? Do you have was your process in terms of, we would hear things like A-roll, B-roll, then when you take it into the video editing software where you're finding music, just what that looks like? And
like we say, I go on a farm, and while the person talking to me and possibly telling me about, the place or wherever it is, it'll be like, I'll ask if I can record you while you're saying what you're saying. Most of the time, it's nah. One of the things that I try not to do is not to record people without them knowing. So they would say what they say, and in my mind, I would start to think, well, hey, a shot of this, like you're talking about the kind of tools you have. Okay, a shot of the tools. So I'll try and remember in my mind, in my head to ask you, about the tools, so it matching up there. I don't really write it out, but sometimes I just see it. And anything interesting that might catch my eye could be B-roll. Like a real big Japanese B-roll. That kind of way. I don't really plan to say like I have a script, but working with Sean or whoever, he's like, do what you gotta do. He's one of the only people that so far that and I have more videos to do. I have plenty of things to do. Because I supply him with citrus, make juices as well. Big up Just Natural juices. Yeah, so so I know process to say like map out this or map out that, it'll be just random.
And when you go into your video editing software, was some of the tips and tricks you could give us in terms of organizing a video? You have folders every project where you're putting your music. Tell me something that I can say I'll learn something from Jason today.
Don't do what I just do. I have everything all over the place. Sometimes I download it because my internet connection is so slow. As I download it, to put it where I want it, import it from right in the download folder and remember to delete it. I really disorganize when it comes to organizing files and storage and so on. real disorganized.
Where you finding music for your YouTube videos?
YouTube library and sometimes Thematic. Yeah, that site I can't recall the name of it. But yeah.
Do you have any content strikes on your videos?
Nah, not yet. And I've gotten some from Shine Story. Yeah, Shines and ZZ Beats. Yeah, so I have, because I'm trying to find more Caribbean song than music. But that is a struggle that most content creators in the Caribbean find, and I lose that battle. So
yeah, and then if you're thinking about paying for some of these subscriptions, it's about 144 US a year. One that I come across a lot is Epidemic Sound.
Yeah.
What is the best money you've spent as a content creator?
Going to Bago.
No, but in terms of like upgrading, because you get content out of that, right? So it comes like money that you spend towards, the business that you're doing.
Yeah.
But in terms of upgrade for your equipment, anything stands out to you that, hey, I am so happy that I have this tripod or this.
Well, the tripod was one. Well, with the MacBook is Type-C USB ports. So I bought I don't know if they call it a bus and some adapters. Spent about $150, and it's like, instead of having to save this to this and then transfer to that, because it used to be so much problems, I had to send it from my phone to my daughter's laptop and then send it, or I had to email it to myself and that kind of, it's like, yeah. So
simple little things could make your work process improve it so much.
Yeah, being able to go direct to the computer, yeah. Well, even though you could airdrop, but some things was just too annoying. So just to be able to take it from me and send it straight here.
Yeah, you need to make your life as easy as possible. A simple thing like I'm doing a recording on the iPhone here, but the file is going to be so big in the end that I have to transfer it to the MacBook, put it on a flash drive, and then transfer it to the computer that I'm editing on. Okay. But some of your videos include narrations as well. Yeah. So you cheat me just now when I ask you that question about your creative process, because you ain't working anything about the narrations that you like to do or your style.
No.
What defines your style in terms of, hey, this is my little sauce that I bring into it? And
that video with the narration, the audio would have been bad. I was talking, and that was what the first camera. So one of the problems with our first camera is the mic. The mic will be here in the front and the back all over. So I would be talking, and I don't know if it's in an effort to compensate, you would be hearing a noise like shh, like if you're by the sea. So people think, well, hey, he living close to the beach. Some people would ask, well, boy, when they tired him up, just go and take a good soak, and it's like, but it was just the mic was rubbish. But thanks for the camera, still, yeah. So I try a thing and it worked. I would use the phone itself, record it on the phone, and then transfer it. In the Tobago vlog, it came out with audio on one side. So, on the phone, you wouldn't hear that. So when people would watch it on the TV or watch it with headphones, it was on one side. And right now I'm studying if to re-upload that video with it fixed.
And I love that part of the journey, when you have the equipment and it funky or clunky in some kind of way, and you find these little hacks in your tripod, your narration that you had based on your first camera. And that's fantastic, but I think that's the thing that makes us like better creators. When, my opinion, like when you just start, you're working your way, or you're trying to squeeze the absolute best out of a particular device, and then when you get the upgrade and you realize, hey boy, you truly appreciate how easy your life was, and then you're trying to squeeze everything else out of that.
Yeah.
For instance, when I just started, there's a piece of equipment I bought in terms of helping me with podcasting, and it works real old school, right? Not even real old school, but I had to do plenty workarounds. I had to do plenty post-processing, editing for the audio to make it sound better. And I think that's one of the reasons that, when it comes to investing in yourself as a content creator, whether it's buying equipment, watching tutorials and videos and some of the content creators you mentioned, it's kind of like saying, I need to make a decision to buy something that could save, just to make my work process a little bit easier. Yeah. So
but it's something you got to be careful of, because I realize that some people are just data market stuff, and don't want to call any channel names, but there are a few channels that teach you how to do stuff on YouTube, and when you watch it, you'll realize they're making the same video over and over and over and over. You know, but it's good to know which one, you know, to watch and learn from.
You're right. It could definitely create an obsession in front of you. And we have a responsibility as the content creator to say, this aspect of it is most important. I am going to farms. I am going to be talking to farmers. Most likely it's going to be me and the farmer. Yeah. You know, I'd have a camera, you know, but let me get this double microphone, lapel mic kind of setup because I'm going to benefit the most out of it in that way.
Yeah.
So thanks for that reminder, boy. That is an important reminder because you could go crazy and say, I was struggling so much at the point in time when, around the time when I bought this audio interface here, I was thinking, I want a 4K camera. But I want that 4K. And I get hung up on the idea. But I couldn't justify what that camera, and I am so happy. I didn't, as much as I would like an upgrade on a 4K camera, I am so happy I didn't purchase that. Because in terms of what I want to accomplish from my channel, for myself, for my development, this suits me better.
Yeah.
So you have videos in your garden with your daughter. She's filming and narrating. Describe the impact YouTube has had on your family.
So far, we have had no negative issues. Everything has been positive. It's a dynamic way I could interact with my daughter. She liked the idea. She wants her own channel, but right now she's struggling with her channel about what? Well, obviously I don't want her to be on camera in the channel, you know. But we're struggling with the idea about that. My wife, it used to take up too much of my time, so the wife didn't like it at first. And she was concerned about security and all that kind of thing. So I used to spend hours in the night losing sleep. And when she see a girl like a 5-10 minute video out here, it is like a wasting time, you know. She would never said that, you know, but But again, I spending time to do stuff that they're not noticing. We went to Bago and I didn't really get much of them on camera. That was deliberate. You know, because the wife kind of camera shy, and you know, so I didn't want the content hunting part of it to take up too much of the trip. So I didn't stop here to get footage, stop here. You know, so that is why some people might think, well, hey, that video could have been done better. But I went on a trip and reaping out your soul just happened to come along too. You know, so I didn't want my family to be inconvenienced by, you know, because you know there'll be sometimes like, hey, look, the boat passing. So you pull aside to get footage or hey, look at Cocrico. So it's like, nah, I didn't want to, you know. And I still have footage that I didn't edit from that Tobago trip. So I sent Shines and he just gave me a little blind. Big up Shines again.
You know, as weird as it sounds, as a vlogger, I am enjoying not vlogging these days and the private moments with my family. Of course, when you make money when you produce in terms of the monetization aspect, however, but that isn't even at the forefront. And I want to say in the same breath that YouTube has always been a side hustle for me, you know, and I'm not dependent on it for income. But of course, you know, there's different scenarios for different people. Some focus on content creation. You might be creating content and sending the message out in terms of your lemons that you have for sale. Earlier, you mentioned about fixing that spray can for the guy. And I wanted to ask you about when you made that video, did you find it had more universal appeal, like beyond the borders of Trinidad, people were discovering your work? When you look at the analytics, what were you seeing?
I've seen people from Pakistan, Afghanistan, all over the world. And I've seen comments that I thought was just spam because, you know, sometimes you get bots and, you know, but when I copy and paste it in Google Translate, people asking stuff about Barbadine, about different things, you know. And one of the things that I did, I reached out to Royal Condor to find the distributor in Trinidad. They gave me a few numbers. None of them were working. I get real feedback on that Royal Condor video, so I try to, you know, to reach out to them because I'm doing it my way. Suppose there's an easier way, suppose there's a simpler way, you know. And I haven't seen any other videos.
Yeah, I think you definitely have a market that they could capitalize there on those type of videos. The thing about it is when you do something that works well, but you don't necessarily have the zeal as an individual to pursue that type of content, you know, or even as you might have made a video about fixing a spray can and it does well, but it's not necessarily the type of content that you want to be making. I have made videos like that, they do particularly well, but you know, you just don't necessarily want to re-enter it at a particular point in time. And then how do you balance that business aspect with, you know, creative desire? Who we really making videos for, by Jason? What is the biggest challenge you're facing in your role as a YouTuber?
I don't have any time set aside that dedicated to YouTube. I now learning DaVinci Resolve and stuff that I learned before, I had to relearn because it's not like it locked in my mind and so I now learn it. I do it a few times and so long pass, I had to watch over our next video. And that is why I had to tell YouTube thanks because you're learning how to be on YouTube by watching YouTube. So I'm a struggle putting out consistent content and quality content because I could use iMovie and just cut. But, I've done it in the past, but I just feel like there's something missing,
That you cheating yourself or the audience?
But it had to be myself because they don't seem like people care. My favorite video, well, other than the one with my daughter and the Tobago one, was the one with bees. The man was taking a handful of bees and putting in his bar box. I have 2 videos with him like that, but there was one I actually got up close and personal. And the bees were landing on me. I didn't get sting up to now. And this man just scooping it up in his hand. And nobody seems to care. I thought it was very impressive to see that, I don't really, because I know men coming in a big suit and he had a smoker and this man was bareback. He actually took his jersey and rested on the hive. He was bareback and nothing.
This issue that you were talking about in terms of time and to edit and to revisit things that maybe you learned because you forget you're having the option to sit down. How you plan to tackle that problem? What type of vision that you have in terms of solving the I don't want to call it a time management problem, but it boils down to time and how it's structured. So what do you need as a YouTuber to fight or combat this issue of limited time, your work commitments, family, finances?
I need a more stable source of income. Right now, my vehicle's down. So, I is my own mechanic. I is my own almost everything. So, before I used to sacrifice more and ignore things that fall apart in my life to focus on the channel. But it reached a stage where now I can't afford to do that anymore. I have to focus. And when everything settles down, then I'll be able to organize. I'm trying to bring back the garden so that I could make a little income from it. Because I can't really say that I have recouped my investment in the garden yet. So for 7 years or more, and I can't say that I make back all what I spend. The money is coming kind of trickle.
This idea of disposable income and where you could afford to pay something, I could think about where through content creation, certain aspects of my life slip. And I just kind of had to back off and say, hey, I just have to, Trouble said it to me the other night, you have said it to me in the past, that you just had to do what you have to do. And some of these things have to take a backseat because it would be lovely if we're in a position that your car break down and you're able to say, hey, I have an extra $300-400 to pay this person so that they could focus on what they're good at. Help me. Because when we go to do something that we not, you may have more background than me in that sense. But when you go to fix something, it might take you 2 days versus a mechanic that's familiar with it and has done it over and over. It might take him 2 hours. So is a painful part of the creative aspect where you have to just, I can't afford to pay somebody to cut around here, property that don't even belong to me.
Yeah.
But you just had to do it. You bring somebody to Waka by that $2,000 based on the amount of land you have.
Coca pot and how come, man? Coca pot I come in.
Bar bottle of rum, I
don't drink. Coca pot I come in. Once in a pork and shrimp, I come in and cut.
What kind of support or resources would be helpful for you to continue growing your farm and YouTube channel?
Training, definitely, in terms of farming. And I could do it a little training with it in terms of the editing and so on. I kind of learning from just random pieces that I take from here, there, and the other. But you see like the structure where you might know, well, okay, I save the B-roll here, I save this here, I save that there in that folder, whatever it is. There are certain things I don't understand with DaVinci, like bins. I don't understand what the bins are about, so a little financial support. I don't know if it could be a sponsor or whatever, I don't know. I managed to get this far on my own. And I can't really say on my own too because I kind of have a support system in terms of like you shines. A few people would give me advice, on the content creation aspect and encouragement and so on. But sometimes I give up, and I shouldn't say give up. Sometimes I just not in the mood to do anything because I have so much things to do, so I choose to do nothing because I'm fed up and And somebody would call me and give me a little encouragement. Sometimes a random subscriber call and say, hey, thanks for this, thanks for that, thanks for the other. People commenting on old videos like Stephanie Lopez would be commenting on old videos just to ask how I'm going, that kind of way. So it's surprising that people looking forward to seeing you. When sometimes you're looking forward to see yourself.
How do you measure the success of your YouTube channel? What makes you look at a channel and say, this channel is doing particularly well and any YouTuber should strive to accomplish these aspects?
That's a hard one, because for me, I am extremely happy with my progress because I wouldn't say that I didn't put any effort into it, but consistent effort. Yeah, and sometimes even the little effort as it would seem to somebody that I put in, it was at a cost. Somebody could have 1,000 subscribers, somebody could have 1,000,000 subscribers, but if I into them, I into them. I don't care, And I'm not trying to beat this one. It's no competition with me. YouTube is for everybody. My neighbor could decide to start a channel about agriculture. And I know he's a better farmer than me. And I know I would help him. Look, I'm working with a guy named Cohen Huggins, and he knows a lot. And I guarantee that when he starts his own, when he started uploading, he will monetize before me, but that is no problem to me. To answer the question, I rate it by how much I enjoy it. Because if I don't enjoy it, I don't watch it.
When you look at YouTubers, what are some of the aspects that you enjoy? What they bring into the table that stands out?
Comedy. And since I started to edit, I fallen in love with watching movies and trying to figure out how they film that shot. So editing, music, I had to give my boy 1,000,001 ratings for the combination of both the songs, the music, the drone shots, the everything. Shine is our boss, and to know that he's self-taught and doing that. You and all that, see you do some things and all with when you put R2D2. It was in the sand or in the grocery somewhere.
Yeah, that's when Quasi was walking across Mansfield Beach.
Yeah. Quasi and all. Quasi is sickeningly talented. And I know going on with the movie, Quasi was going on with the movie. Walking again.
Yeah, and so I could see that you're already taken up with editing, and I understand why it's so important to you as a creator to have these edits here. And I could think about these where I was taken up with the editing too, and I still am, but I find it difficult to kind of re-enter those projects when I have some of the same commitments that you have and the consistency behind it. One of the things that I am doing for me, if I is no, I guess I don't have any place answer in this question, but I am really taken up with a good story.
I like a story too.
Seeing how something progresses, and if that is coupled with the editing aspect, and if you feel that you take away something from it, it may not necessarily be education, but you take away something from it that you either see the person you enjoy watching they overcome a hurdle, maybe they get the bees off the farm, or they attend to a tree, and in a couple of months they could show you that tree doing better. So it's intriguing, the things that attract us, and then finding ways to balance that now with what the audience likes to see. And it's hard work, boy. And I thinking about all the investments you've made in terms of time, learning software, and I mean, your goal is to hit the 1,000 subscribers, because if you could have a streamer income, you know that the YouTube monetization is there working for you. And I hope that unfolds quickly for you, because it is nice when we do work to know that we will be paid for it. Apart from sponsorship and YouTube monetization, any other form of incomes you're looking in terms of like building your channel around or your business around?
I would have to say I hope to be able to sell my produce in a more timely manner, because one of my struggles with going to the wholesale market is like, I don't know, somehow that the maths don't maths, as we like to say. I can't see it selling retail for 8 and 10 and they want to buy it wholesale for $1. And what wholesale is, you can't want to buy 50 of this and tell me it's wholesale. You know, to me, it's at least 100. But I need to be able to, I need to market my stuff more. And yeah, so I hope to actually be able to sell more.
So were you hoping that you could probably, through your YouTube channel, wipe out the need for the wholesale market? And
No.
Come? No. I don't mean wipe out or blast the YouTube the market to hell.
Excuse me.
I mean,
I need water.
I mean, in terms of you need water. You're choking.
Yeah.
Well, I can't stop this recording. So you go and get your water. Send your guests for the water. Do you hope through your YouTube channel to one day direct your customers towards you so you could get the price that you deserve out of it? What's your vision in terms of aligning what you do, the products and services that you offer? I know you fix spray cans for free, and lemons.
Yes.
You all right there, brother?
Yeah.
You recover fully? You recover fully?
Yeah, they hide the label.
Nah, that don't bother me, man.
Blue waters, because they're tasty.
If they get some free sponsorship out there, so be it, man. Yeah.
Blue waters is water. And blue.
They need to know you're open for businesses. So you had to actually say, hey, Blue Waters, you know, actively looking for a sponsor. What we gonna do? Call me. And then again, you don't know you don't know if anybody from Blue Waters actually watching, so you had to now be able to call them and say, hey, take a look at this video. You see, I do this video, I mentioned Blue Waters in it. Let me talk some business now. Sometimes you have to set the stage. I could think about doing the Bermuda's Biscuit videos. I reached out to them. And I could think about doing an event Kimberly got invited to, and I ended up at this Volvo event.
Yeah.
And yeah, I make the video.
Yeah.
I put a little feeler out there, but God willing, if somebody was to call me and think, yeah, it have a business cost to that. Yeah, I might come and I might drink some wine or whatever the case might be. But I ain't drinking that wine for free, brother. You paid me to drink that wine. You know, you have your antennas. I think we live in a society where it's very difficult to kind of for people to see and appreciate the work that goes into services in particular.
Yeah.
We'll pay $5 for the bottle of water. But if a man could probably just kind of fix a spray can quick for me, I'm not saying that's the case in that instance.
Yeah.
But you might be a little quicker to tell that person, hey, thanks for help, buy anything for you. And then the person now who's selling the service goes, nah, that didn't take me long, man. You go ahead now, brother. But this is the things that put in the money in the pocket.
I've gotten comments as though like but you ain't doing nothing, you just picking lemon. Why lemon so expensive, or why they so expensive, you know? It's a tree, you know, as if, well, there's a random tree that just planted somewhere that the Lord is taking care of, and you know, people don't know how hard it is to pick lemon or lime. When you had a chuck yard, you know, with picker and all that. Bees, Jep. Most of the times I pick is early in the morning, so it's still at you and the place better and all that kind of vibes, you know. So we don't understand the processes that go in behind certain things.
As someone who sells lemons, I think it would be a good idea for you to look at different type of, not just remedies, but different types of products that you could produce with lemons. Something that a senior citizen might be searching for. Yeah. I could think about my sister who's actively, for her treatment, looking for lemons. And if you could start to make whether it's short videos showing maybe how to make a particular drink or a particular remedy with lemon. Yeah. So by people hunting now for those type of videos, they come across the guy who's selling the lemons.
Yeah. That's a very good idea. Very brilliant of you, sir.
Thanks for coming on the podcast. But before we go, what are your future goals for your YouTube channel?
Monetization, and to improve the quality, the consistency. When I say quality, not just edits alone. I hope to do more series, like, you know, to start from seed to fruit. Hope to get a sponsor as well, or sponsors, to do sponsored videos. To make money. Hope to make a little off the channel.
Name 3 content creators you'd love to collaborate with.
Trinidad boys and Yayan, because technically me and Yayan never do anything together. Mr. Beast? Nah, no Mr. Beast. Nah, just using.
She out of time and bad, she come as the podcast wrapping up there. But yeah, what you could probably add to it is that if I come on Kimberly, what you could do is if you have any like lemons you want to sell or whatever. Tell people what you to sell now, man.
Okay, yeah, so I sell the lemons at $5, so one 3,500. You could reach me at 783-9929. Yeah, I want to big up my daughter Janik, my wife Nicole, and for the best burgers and red velvet cakes. Check out, what's the name of the channel again? K for Cakes? Oh, Kimberly Badlow.
Well, Reaping What You Sow, thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to editing this podcast.
He doesn't.